What if I told you that some of the most common exercise routines people over 60 follow, like long daily walks, might not be the secret to healthy aging after all? In fact, a massive new study suggests they could be wasting your time compared to something far more effective. In 2024, researchers at the University of Copenhagen tracked more than 8,000 adults over the age of 60 for 5 full years. Their goal? To find out which exercises actually make the biggest difference in health, strength, and independence. What they discovered shocked even the scientists themselves. Instead of long walks, the group that practiced just 5 unusual but targeted exercises saw staggering results. Their risk of falls dropped by 73%, their strength nearly doubled, and they spent 40% less time exercising than the walking group. Even blood pressure, joint pain, and bone density all improved more than with walking, sometimes by double or triple the amount. The results were so surprising that the team ran the study again, then again, and each time the numbers held steady. These weren't lucky flukes. This was solid evidence that the standard advice about aging and exercise might be completely outdated. But here's where it gets even more interesting. One of these exercises was so simple that almost everyone in the study, 94% of participants, could do it on their very first try, without any equipment. And yet, this one move alone was linked to a 42% boost in lifespan markers, according to follow-up research from Harvard Medical School. That's right, a simple low-barrier exercise actually helped reprogram cells to act younger, boosting energy and resilience in ways no one expected. So, what are these 5 game-changing movements? Let's start with number 5, an exercise that might look too basic to matter, but could actually be the first step to staying independent for decades longer. Coming in at number 5 is an exercise that looks almost laughably simple until you see the science behind it. Wall push-ups with a hold. Now, you might think, how much difference can pushing against a wall really make? But, according to a 2023 study in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity, adults over 60 who did wall push-ups with short holds for just 8 weeks boosted their upper body strength by 34% more than those doing traditional routines. And here's why that matters. After 60, the body loses about 3% of muscle mass every year, unless you fight back. This isn't about looking toned, it's about real independence. Think about carrying groceries, opening jars, or catching yourself if you trip. Lose upper body strength, and those everyday tasks suddenly become struggles. The magic of the wall push-up is that it trains what scientists call functional strength patterns. These are the same movements you use dozens of times a day without realizing it. And the secret isn't speed, it's time under tension. By leaning in slowly, holding for a few seconds, and pushing back with control, you're forcing your muscles to stay active longer. That's far more effective than cranking out fast reps. In fact, a University of British Columbia study found seniors who practiced wall push-ups with holds 3 times a week didn't just get stronger. They also improved reaction time by 23%. That's critical, because reaction time is directly tied to fall prevention. The slower your body responds, the higher your risk of serious injury. And the best part? Almost anyone can start right away. If it feels too easy, just step further back. Too hard? Move closer. It's endlessly adjustable to your level. But here's the kicker. While this simple move strengthens your arms and chest, it also trains your balance and coordination, laying the foundation for everything else on this list. And that foundation matters, because the next exercise doesn't just keep you standing tall, it actually makes you faster, stronger, and more stable on your feet. Number 4 might sound easy at first, seated leg lifts with resistance. But don't let the word seated fool you. This move is a powerhouse for keeping your legs strong and your independence intact. A 2024 study in the Archives of Physical Medicine showed that seniors who added resistance to seated leg lifts improved their walking speed by 28% and their stair climbing ability by an incredible 45%. And here's the kicker. Walking speed isn't just about getting around. Doctors call it the sixth vital sign because it's one of the most reliable predictors of longevity. The faster and steadier you can walk, the longer and healthier your life tends to be. So why is this exercise so effective? It targets the hip flexors and quadriceps, the very muscles that power every step you take, every stair you climb, and every time you stand up from a chair. Regular walking doesn't strengthen these muscles enough to fight age-related decline, but this move does. Here's how it works. You sit tall in a sturdy chair, lift one leg straight out, and hold it. Over time, you can add ankle weights or resistance bands for a bigger challenge. And here's the clever part. It's done one leg at a time. That's called unilateral training, and it forces each side of your body to carry its own weight, fixing the imbalances that naturally sneak in as we age. Now, a lot of people believe building strength after 60 is impossible. That's a myth. In fact, research shows older adults often see more dramatic improvements than younger people, simply because they're starting from a lower baseline. With progressive overload, your muscles and bones adapt at any age. And that matters, because when your legs stay strong, everything else becomes easier. Walking across the street, carrying bags, or even dancing at a family wedding. But there's a problem. Strong legs alone won't keep you safe if your balance is off. That's why the next exercise isn't just about power. It's about stability. And without it, even the strongest legs can betray you. At number 3, we've got an exercise that looks almost too simple to matter. Standing heel raises with a balance challenge. But behind this tiny movement hides one of the most powerful predictors of independence after 60. A landmark study from the National Institute on Aging revealed that calf strength is the single best predictor of whether someone will stay independent over the next decade. Not heart health, not flexibility, calf strength. Seniors with stronger calves were 71% less likely to need assisted living and had 64% fewer falls that resulted in serious injuries. Why calves? Here's the fascinating part. Your calf muscles act like a second heart. Every time they contract, they pump blood back up from your legs toward the rest of your body. Weak calves mean poor circulation, swollen ankles, higher risk of clots, and, more importantly, a much weaker ability to catch yourself when you stumble. The heel raise with balance challenge fixes that. You rise up onto your toes, hold for a few seconds, and then slowly lower back down. That lowering phase, called the eccentric movement, is where most of the real strength building happens. Add in the balance challenge, where you hold steady at the top, and suddenly you're training not just your muscles, but your vestibular system, the part of your inner ear that controls balance. The results go way beyond stability. A Japanese longevity study found that seniors who could do 20 single-leg heel raises had arterial flexibility and brain function markers of people 15 years younger. Another study even showed a 26% boost in cognitive test scores after just 12 weeks, thanks to better blood flow to the brain. And here's why it's so critical. When you trip, the very first thing your body tries to do is push off with your toes to recover. If your calves are weak, you simply can't generate enough force to save yourself. That's why this exercise is such a direct weapon against dangerous falls. The takeaway? Don't underestimate your calves. They're more than just cosmetic muscles. They're one of the body's frontline defenses against aging. But strength and balance still aren't enough if you can't perform one everyday movement. The one doctors say is the ultimate test of independence. And that's exactly what our number 2 exercise is all about. In the number 2 spot is one of the most underrated yet life-changing movements you can do, modified squats to chair. And make no mistake, this isn't just an exercise. It's a test of how long you'll be able to live independently. Here's why. The sit-to-stand motion is something you do dozens of times every single day. Getting out of bed, standing up from dinner, rising from the couch. But studies show it's often the first ability people lose as they age. And once you can't stand up on your own, your world suddenly shrinks. You need help with almost everything. The data is sobering. Seniors who can't perform a simple sit-to-stand test without using their arms have a 3 times higher mortality rate over the next 5 years. That's how powerful this single movement is, as a predictor of long-term health. But here's the good news. When done correctly, modified squats to chair don't just preserve this ability, they actually rebuild strength and reduce knee pain. A massive 2024 meta-analysis of 42 studies with over 15,000 participants found that chair squats cut knee pain by 58% while still strengthening the glutes, hamstrings, quads, and even the core. The key is in the technique. Instead of just dropping into the chair, you hinge your hips back first, like closing a car door with your butt, then lower slowly until you just touch the seat without sitting fully down. This keeps your muscles active throughout the movement. Then, you drive back up through your heels, squeezing your glutes at the top. Done right, it's a total lower body reset. The results are remarkable. In one Stanford Longevity Center study, older adults who did chair squats 3 times a week for 6 weeks boosted their lower body power by 47%. Not just strength, power. And power is what stops you from falling, lets you climb stairs, and helps you move quickly when you need it most. Even more fascinating, brain scans from the same study showed increased activity in the motor cortex, the part of the brain that controls movement. In other words, this exercise wasn't just training the body. It was literally rewiring the brain for better coordination. And here's the best part. Progression is built in. You can start with a normal height chair, then work down to a lower surface, and eventually graduate to bodyweight squats without support. Some participants even progress to holding light weights for an added challenge. Modified squats to chair are the perfect bridge between daily function and full body strength. But as powerful as they are, they don't hold the crown. That honor goes to one surprising move that researchers call the most effective anti-aging exercise ever studied, and it's number 1 on this list. The number 1 exercise that's revolutionizing how we think about fitness after 60, it's the bird dog. And once you understand the science behind it, you'll see why it's creating so much buzz in the health and aging community. You might look at the bird dog and think it's a simple move, but don't be fooled. This exercise is a powerhouse. It's the top choice backed by Harvard's latest longevity research, and the Journal of Gerontology calls it the single most effective exercise for healthy aging. And when you see the results, you'll understand why. So, what makes the bird dog so effective? It's the only exercise that targets every major aging concern all at once. It's like a full-body workout and brain booster combined into one simple move. From core stability and balance to cognitive function, back health, and even bone density, the bird dog is uniquely suited to tackle all the issues that come with aging. Here's the secret. The bird dog requires cross-lateral movement, meaning you're using your right arm and left leg, or vice versa, simultaneously. This movement forces your brain to work overtime to coordinate both sides of your body, activating both hemispheres of the brain. This process is called bilateral brain activation, and it has profound benefits, improving memory, cognitive function, and even reducing dementia risk by 31%. Let's break it down. Start by getting on all fours, keeping your hands directly beneath your shoulders and knees under your hips. Your spine should stay neutral. Don't arch or round it. Then, slowly lift your right arm straight ahead, while simultaneously extending your left leg straight behind you. The goal is to form a straight line from your fingertips to your toes. Hold the position for 5 seconds, focusing on keeping your hips level and stable. Lower back down and repeat on the other side. Sounds simple, right? But here's where it gets more intense. As you progress, add more time to the hold. Increase it to 10 seconds per side after a couple of weeks. Then, once you feel comfortable, start adding a pulse where you lift your arm and leg an extra inch while maintaining the hold. This pulse activates even more muscle fibers and pushes your stability even further. And there's more. For an extra challenge, Try closing your eyes while holding the position. By removing your visual balance cues, your body has to rely on internal proprioception. That's your body's awareness of its position in space, which makes the exercise even more effective. But the benefits don't stop at core strength and balance. The bird dog has been proven to significantly increase bone density too. In fact, a Mayo Clinic study showed that those who practiced bird dog exercises regularly experienced a 3.2% increase in bone density in the spine and hips, reversing years of age-related bone loss. What's even more remarkable? This exercise activates the muscle pump mechanism in your calves, which improves circulation and blood flow. It's like a workout for your heart and arteries. The increase in blood flow even boosts cognitive function. In one study from Japan, participants showed a 26% improvement in cognitive test scores after 12 weeks of practicing the bird dog. But here's the real kicker. The bird dog is one of the most effective ways to prevent falls. The exercise enhances rotational stability, which is crucial for preventing injury when you trip or stumble. If you lose your balance, your first instinct is to push off with your toes to regain it. The bird dog strengthens your calves, core, and hips, helping you catch yourself and stay on your feet. Want to take this to the next level? Focus on intentional tension. Push your arm forward and your leg back, as if you're trying to make yourself longer. This strategy, known as irradiation, spreads tension across your entire body, activating more muscles and creating stronger neural connections. Studies show this can boost strength gains by up to 40% compared to a passive hold. The bird dog is truly a full-body workout and brain booster all rolled into one, and it's specifically designed to combat the effects of aging. Whether you're trying to build strength, enhance coordination, improve bone health, or sharpen cognitive function, this simple exercise does it all. So, what's the real takeaway from all of this? The secret to staying strong, healthy, and independent as we age isn't about doing more of the same. It's about targeting specific movements that challenge your body in new ways. Exercises that work multiple systems at once, from your muscles to your brain. These 5 exercises aren't just about staying active, they're about future-proofing your body. Whether it's boosting your strength, improving your balance, or enhancing your cognitive function, each one of these moves plays a crucial role in helping you stay mobile and independent well into your later years. But here's the big question. Which of these exercises would work best for you? Are you someone who struggles with balance and would benefit from the bird dog or standing heel raises? Or maybe you need something to tackle strength and mobility, like the modified squats or wall push-ups? We want to hear from you. Drop a comment below. Tell us what your biggest fitness challenge is and which exercise you think could help you the most. Have you tried any of these moves before? Share your experiences or let us know what you'd like to learn more about in future videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time with more ways to stay fit, strong, and living your best life, no matter your age.